Welcome to the Rhino Show. It's me, Kawan Warfield, your favorite host, as well as we have, say your name, Austin.
I'm Austin. Hi.
This is like a
Natalia,
weird
say your
turn.
name.
Hey y'all, I'm Talia. What's up?
What's up?
This is a different intro.
I'll tell you what's up. I will tell you what's up.
Tell me what's up.
Biden's little secret documents, his little itsy bitsy little couple 3-time over secret documents.
They were in his locked Corvette. It's not like they were out on the street. Okay, enough.
Listen, it's not like he left them at the ice cream parlor with those little kids. They were in his garage, obviously.
So I don't know how secure it is though, because I actually went over to his house and I took a few pictures for myself. So like FBI, if you want to raid me now, I got the pictures. Too late.
Too late.
Raid you? They're not even raiding him.
Yeah, but I'm a Republican, so I'll get raided.
And so, I don't make a point here. I think it's perfectly fine for politicians who have access to them when they're in office to have classified documents with them at their homes or at their other offices. That's fine with me. I have no problem with that. If you were the president or vice president and you have access to certain documents because of your status, it's okay that you have them. Especially if you're the president, you have access to declassify anything you want. It's not a big deal. It was fine when Trump had him. It is fine when Joe Biden had him. I don't care. As long as they're not just throwing them out there on the street. Okay, whatever. But the fact that the Democrats made such a big deal about it when Trump had it is the problem. It's not about the documents in themselves. It's not about the amount. It's not about where they were. It's about the hypocrisy of it all.
Yeah, the double standard.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's different because Joe Biden only had 20 or 40. Donald Trump had hundreds. It's like, that does not matter. That is absolutely irrelevant in the terms of what they were talking about as far as him stealing documents. It didn't matter how many he stole. It's the fact that they were classified and that he had them at his home. That was their problem. So going off of their own premise, Joe Biden is equally guilty, and more so because he's a hypocrite. I'm not going by my standards. I'm going by their standards.
Yeah, he's a big time hypocrite. I don't even care about the documents. Like, he has a gas powered Corvette in his garage. Like, are you kidding me? I guarantee he's got a gas stove in his house too. Like, what is this? We're talking about documents when he's literally killing the earth.
Joe Biden hates the planet. You heard it here first, guys. He hates the planet. He's not green. He wants to pollute. Guys, take him to jail. Greta Thunberg, tweet at him.
Greta.
Yes, please.
Greta, come get him. Greta, come get him.
Oh, that would be great. But
how dare he shut down pipelines and then uses the little fuel that we have left to power his Corvette.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can afford to drive, but Joe, he's got that Corvette. He's got those documents. He's going on a joyride. Who knows where? He'll probably get lost. But yeah, I don't have a problem with him having the documents because I really don't care who has the documents. Like vice president, like you said, I didn't care when Trump had it. I cared that the liberals were lying and making up all these dumb stories. Like, oh my God, he's got these nuclear codes still. We have to rate this guy. Like, no, dude, just stop. Stop playing games, okay? And I'm going to say the same thing now. Like, I don't care that Biden has these. Yeah, he probably should be a little more responsible where he puts them. Maybe his garage isn't the best place for classified documents, especially when his crackhead son lives at that address. So how many of this crackhead's friends were in there? I mean, we've seen all the videos on his laptop. How many people do you think were in that garage? You know how easy it is to get a picture of something? Like I said, I got it myself. You know how easy it is? Like, how many people have actually seen these documents now because of that crackhead?
Between the two of them, out of any house that's going to be raided, I'm just so surprised. Actually, I'm not even surprised, but a normal person would be surprised that that house has not been raided yet. Because what in the world?
Yeah.
It's because of that big old D. That big old D on his name as Democrat Joe Biden.
Yeah. That house is never going to be raided. But
Talia, compose yourself. Relax.
I tried keeping it going. I couldn't. But yeah, that house obviously should be #1 rated, but it will never be rated. The FBI will never show up. It's up to Biden. Biden gets aides to check his house. Trump gets the FBI, whole FBI. It'll never change. It doesn't matter what else they find. I believe they said they found 5 more in a. This is the third time they found classified documents, and they found 5 more in his house. So who knows? They'll probably find a couple more times. These aides will just magically find him, and Quite. I'm kind of curious why his aides are actually like telling on Biden like that doesn't happen in the Democratic Party. They don't turn on themselves. But that's I guess a story for another day once we figure out how much more he's got.
I don't know. I feel like the Democratic Party has in the past shown a little bit of that. Actually, they whenever there's a candidate that they don't like, they will gladly sabotage a little bit. I know Bernie Sanders wasn't necessarily a Democrat, but he was kind of part of that group in a certain kind of sense. And Democrats were like, whoa, 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 we can't let him get through our primaries.
Do they have to sabotage Biden though?
Yes, because they did such a good job at putting him in office that
Yeah,
most
but
of
that
America
was
is actually
years ago.
so. Even so, some Americans today are so blind to how demented he is, to how awful he is, to how radical he is nowadays that they have to do a lot of work to undo that kind of facade in people's minds.
Yeah.
Well, I know a few liberals. I'm not proud of it, but I know a few, and they're not pro Biden. They're just
Yeah,
still never Trump. So I don't think you
that's
really have
true.
to do much convincing to get
I
them to
mean, like,
support. Let's say their next person is Gavin Newsom. I don't think it takes much to get rid of Biden. Like,
with Hillary Clinton, for example, right? It wasn't that Donald Trump won that election necessarily. It was that people hated Hillary Clinton, and so if people just hate Trump and don't really care about Biden, Biden is still in a better position than Trump is necessarily in that hated versus ignored. It's better to be ignored than hated as far as your status. So I guess Joe Biden is not doing a great job, and people are seeing that in the market, and the people are realizing, oh, he kind of sucks. But they are still blinded by the fact that they hate Trump so much, and they still don't know what other things that Biden has done in the past. They don't know about his Ukraine deals and his China deals. They don't know necessarily all about crime bills and other things he said online. We do because we're really in the media, in the news. But a lot of folks see him as incompetent, but not dangerous.
I don't see him as dangerous. I see him as deadly. Little difference, I guess.
Still
But,
different, yeah.
oh man, I don't know how many more classified documents he'll have. Just magically appear. You guys think there's gonna be more?
Possibly, but I just don't know how many it's going to take until they raid his house. So.
I guarantee you they're never gonna raid his house. I'm calling it now. I put money on it. 2 cents on it. That I'll put my 2 cents in. I'll put in my 2 cents that he is not gonna get raided. There's no
Well,
way.
I'll put $20 on it. To your favorite charity, Kwan. Okay, I'm gonna say yeah.
Kwan bank
Yeah,
account is my favorite charity.
that's your favorite charity. Okay, but yeah, we'll never see the day he gets raided. It'll never happen. Biden will be long dead before a Democrat gets raided. Someone in his position. So it's worthless steaming to hope that happens. Sad time in this country.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I think the new Republican House should just start lobbying impeachments. Listen, since if Democrats are going to use it as a political weapon, I think we should too. I think there's no harm in it. I think people, a lot of conservatives like, no, don't do it because they did it. Like, no, don't do that. It's fine. Whatever, leave it alone. And I'm like, hey, listen, we are in the middle of a political war field right now. Okay, get it, Warfield. And
yeah.
anyway, we're in the political war field. Okay, we have legitimate reasons to impeach Biden. Legitimate, actual reasons. There are things that's been done that have been part of that warrant an impeachment. And again, impeachment is just a trial. We should absolutely take him to trial for things he's done and actually make him speak up to what he's done. That's perfectly fine what to do. And I'm tired of conservatives being afraid to do anything political. We have political power. We should use it for something, if not to make him answer for things he did.
Do you think an impeachment could go the distance? Do you think some Democrats would turn on him to get Kamala into office?
No,
you don't.
I don't think so because maybe 2 or 3 or 4 might turn him a little bit, but I don't think it's getting through the Senate necessarily. I don't know if you have enough votes for that. I don't even think most Republicans. I think there will be some Republicans who won't even support it either. So I just don't think we have the numbers within our own party, let alone the Democrat Party. Plus, if they impeach them, that means that they would have to deal with a Republican vice president, which the Democrats also don't want.
Well, a Republican vice president would be equivalent to what we got now because a Republican wouldn't be allowed to get anything done, and Kamala doesn't get anything done. So is there really a difference at that point?
That's true. Like, do you want a incompetent person of your own party, or do you want somebody from the other party who's semi-competent, competent, but still won't get much done? I don't know. I think they'd
Quan,
rather have a ghost in the position than a real person.
I'm going to
At
have you
least,
start tracking Kamala. Like, we need to get some updates weekly and what she's doing.
yeah.
I'm just following behind her with binoculars. Guys, she is going to the comedy club.
This is how he
She's going
gets
on
shot.
stage,
Yeah.
telling cringy jokes. Oh my gosh, these poor people.
Showing people her Venn diagrams. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, guys. Doing a little cackle.
Please don't. I need to get that on the soundboard. From now on, guys, you're going to have to hear Kamala's cackle on the podcast. I'm sorry, but
We did it, Joe. We did it. We did it. Wow, yeah.
She is completely off the radar right now. I don't know where she is.
I mean, that's good because she is really bad in person. Like, I didn't really think about it. Like, I was really looking at Joe Biden a lot throughout the whole that process, and like we kind of ignored her throughout the primaries because she was kind of terrible. We mostly focused on like Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden and everybody else, whatever. But she's so awful in person. Her speeches are so bad, and I just can't fathom why. It's like she's not that old yet. She seems like a pretty average woman in her age. So I'm like, why are you so bad at this right now? Who's on your team who's allowing you to say these things on TV?
That's your opinion, because there's a bigger country, Russia, invading a smaller country, Ukraine. I
Hey.
love her speeches.
Genius, yeah, absolutely.
It's great
Literary
stuff.
genius, great stuff. I can't wait for her book she writes.
Is she writing a book right now, or?
If not, she will be.
She
I
should.
guarantee it. There's no way that she's gonna let Michelle Obama write a book and she and her not write a book.
True.
As the first black, as the first black Asian Native American woman of color in the vice president White House. Yeah, that's the name of the book.
I mean, she's going to go down in history. All right, she's a trailblazer. Doing great things in the White House.
Sorry, my bad. The first black Native American Indian Jewish woman in the vice president White House. That's the one.
Wow.
Don't forget that.
I forgot one. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She's probably doing her job at the border, and it's such a stressful job that she doesn't have time to make an appearance.
Yeah,
that is her job.
Right.
Yeah, watching all those legals like just run past the border, you're just like, wow, that's taxing to watch. Like,
she's like a welcome sign.
She's cheering, woo!
We're doing it, Joe. We're letting everyone across.
I had to go. She's like, don't come here. Because like, don't come. Don't come. Do not come. Thumbs up. I'm gonna come. Love that. Oh, I love that clip. It's great.
Oh my god, that's enough Kamala talk. I think we got some Kevin McCarthy to talk about next. So on the other side of this break, let's talk about MAGA Kevin McCarthy.
The XM42 Flamethrower. Pick up your ultralight backpack for a longer burn time. Turn up the heat at your next bonfire. Get yours now on sale at warfieldarms.com.
So our boy Kevin McCarthy, what a week he's had. He went from swamp creature to now all of a sudden acting tough and looking like he's trying to be a part of the MAGA movement. Very strange week that he's had.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard his speeches, but like he went from Ukraine first to now he's saying he wants to be America first, which I don't know how much you believe that. I don't trust the guy, but his speeches have sounded good this last week, so I'll give him that. You got to give him that little credit.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's actually pushing certain bills too, like with them repealing the IRS thing with like $10 billion, what it was, like billions of dollars, whatever it was, to get rid of those 87,000 new officers.
Yeah, that was his first bill, right? That was the first thing he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know why the change. Yeah, I can't really tell you that. I haven't figured it out yet. I guess we have to watch him and look and see. I just don't know what changed his mind.
I mean, they could have possibly had something on him, or it could have been one of the deals that they worked out for him to get the votes. Either or. But with the IRS thing, Joe Biden did say that he was going to veto it. he said that he doesn't have a problem working with Republicans, but not like this. So
Good old Vito.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder. That's be very interesting. Tug of war going on with that, seeing how many things go up to him and back down, up and back down, up and back down, revisited and back down to the Senate and back down. Very interesting to see how that all coalesce. I think as far as McCarthy that goes, though, I think it's possible that he was playing the political game as they all seem to do. Like they all kind of get squishy at certain times to kind of win certain favors and do certain things and win certain votes. But now that he's actually in a position of leadership, he might be reverting back to what he truly believes, or maybe he has certain friends that he wants to impress in the future. People he thinks is going to be in power later on in the future, and he want to make sure that he's on their good side.
Like maybe Trump.
Maybe Trump, yeah. Like even
Yeah.
say, I'm thinking that's right now. Maybe I want Trump's endorsement here in 2 years.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
Possibly.
Trump's endorsement got him across the line. I mean,
Yeah.
he re-endorsed him like 2 or 3 times, like even when nobody wanted him. So, he's got to live up to that now. Don't disappoint Trump, because then your career would be over. But yeah, let's hope he keeps this America First agenda that he's had for a week. I doubt it will continue. Maybe the pressure was put on him, and then he saw that it took him 15 rounds to be confirmed. Maybe he's like, man, I don't have a lot of room to screw around here. You know what I mean? Like, and I believe in the new rules package, it's it's either one or like a few people is all it takes to like recall him and try to kick him out from being speaker. So pressure's on him now.
Pressure's very on him, and I think people have very, very short views of politics. I think we think of like the first year or 2 years or 3 years, but like we don't really think about things ahead of time. I think right now is the best time for us to start really focusing our energy on getting more Republicans in office by the time 2024 comes around. We shouldn't wait until the last couple of months before November or last year. We should start now. And I think McCarthy being in position right now, there's a great opportunity for him to really push our agenda and to get us in a position to have leverage.
Yeah, we definitely need to work on that. One thing that was actually great to see is a little bipartisanship with in terms of China. I believe it was 360 to 60. So there's quite a few Democrats even, it's like, hey, let's look into China. And there's a lot of things we could look into China about. So I don't know what the specifics of this deal were, but let's just say COVID, for example. Let's just say, TikTok. Like we got multiple things that they're looking into China for. It's actually a good thing to see that there is some bipartisanship. Now, I don't know how you both feel on, let's say, TikTok, for example. Kwan, what are your thoughts on TikTok? Should that be banned?
My thoughts on TikTok are this. It has been very advantageous for my political growth. So for that, I am appreciative. But also, I'm not fooled into thinking that it's not some political weapon that's been used over the past couple of years, including against me and other creators. And so, as a platform run by the Chinese government, I am ambiguous to it, because whether it's run by America or by the Chinese government, I think we would see the same things. I think America is giving China our rear ends on a platter anyway for free. We are like a bad hooker, just giving China all the information they want, all the money they need. And so I don't tell them to tell you. I feel like whether or not the Chinese government running us or the U.S. government running TikTok, it does not matter. It's still going to be the same propaganda machine. And I think it's foolish to think that there are not dozens, if not hundreds of politicians who are not in China's pocket already in America. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like toss up. It's like do I want to be run by the government, our government, or run by the Chinese government, and they're both struggling real hard.
Yeah. Tal, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, TikTok as a whole, I don't like. Like, take politics out of it. I don't like it. I think that people spend way too much time on it, and they dedicate their entire lives to watching TikToks for hours and hours and hours. But politics involved, I think that it does do more harm than good, just because of the mass misinformation being spread on the app. And I understand conservatives' views, like, oh, like we can spread our ideas more like through TikTok because everyone's on it, yada yada yada, right? But if you get rid of TikTok, you still have all these other social media platforms, so you could still spread your ideas.
I mean, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit there. Like, I think you're generally correct. I just think that yes, there are other platforms, but also all the platforms are doing the same thing that TikTok is doing, regardless. Before TikTok, it was Instagram and YouTube. Before Instagram, it was Facebook. It's been years of this constant feed of information through social media. So it doesn't matter which one you're on. I don't think even Twitter nowadays.
I'm just saying because that was their excuse to like keep it around. Like it doesn't matter that it's China owned and blah 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 because we use it to spread our ideas and that part I just don't agree with because I feel like we can still do that without being on a
I don't know.
Chinese owned app.
I think other platforms are much more competitive, and I think it's much easier to kind of get big on TikTok. I think TikTok offers a certain amount of growth that other platforms don't necessarily have because it's such a competitive market. And I think, for example, I don't think I could have. I think it was way harder for me personally. I know, at least my experience, for a guy like me to get big on Instagram and Facebook than it is on TikTok. I tried Facebook, I was starting off, and I got banned off there forever. And so, and so I've seen way more growth on TikTok than I have anywhere else because there's just way more opportunity on there as far as growth goes. But that's what you're trying to say is that there are other platforms, and if you have a good message, it'll spread it anywhere, which is true. If TikTok was gone tomorrow, we could still go to other platforms and still spread a message. I'm just saying that for the average person, it's gonna be very hard for them to get 20,000 views, 100,000 views on Instagram, on Facebook.
I mean, if people weren't on TikTok all the time, like using that app, more people would be on Instagram and stuff like that. So it would be easier to grow on those platforms if TikTok didn't exist.
I don't know. I think even in the height of Instagram, I don't think people were going to blow up like they were on.
Also, the amount of like bot accounts that are on TikTok also, and the fact that you can make like 15 of them at a time.
True, but like same thing on Twitter, same thing everywhere else, all the bots accounts.
Well,
I think we're different era. Like TikTok is obviously a little different than everybody else, and I think everybody else has had to copy that to an extent, and they're all copying each other. But at the same time, yeah, you can go to other platforms. I just feel like TikTok really blew up a lot of people who I think anywhere else would do horribly. A lot of people who don't deserve even to be popular.
I'd like to point out though, at the height of Instagram, there was no Reels, so that is a game changer. And if TikTok shuts down, more people will be on Reels and YouTube Shorts, so there will be an increase of people for that. But my opinion on TikTok is, I'd say a month ago I was like, yeah, let's shut it down, and then I was like, don't shut it down. Now I'm like, shut it down. Let's ban it. Really back and forth because the content that's on there is very harmful for the youth that spends all day on TikTok. I like it personally because it is what I have following on it. It's what I talk politics on. But like, besides my personal time on it, like I understand that it would be a net positive if it wasn't there.
But also I think talking about getting rid of TikTok is a band-aid solution. Like we said, before TikTok, there was Instagram, there was Twitter, what have you, and they all had their own issues and their own problems. And people going on there and seeing these little girls or whatever was happening, what was going on those platforms. I think the issue is what our government is allowing there to be online and people to see, and then B, what our families are allowing the kids to see. We talk all day about what's wrong on TikTok for kids to see, but also why are the kids on there to begin with? Why are the parents allowing them to be exposed to this kind of stuff to begin with? Why is the government allowing pornography to be all over Twitter, all over Instagram, all over TikTok?
That's a great question to ask. I don't got the answer for you.
I mean, yeah, like about means we can already talk about TikTok, and again, I agree with you that TikTok is very toxic, especially to young kids, But I think it starts somewhere else, not just there.
Well, that's part of TikTok too, like the whole kids thing.
Yep.
And they want kids to be on these apps, and that's why you see those little transgenders. They're like, "Hi, boys and girls." Oh wait, there is no boys and girls. This is actually why there's no male or female.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
I just saw that video.
What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Because they know that kids, the parents just give them the little iPad. Hey, kid, have fun. Run away. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And they go and watch all the videos on TikTok and everything.
Yeah, it's bad. But I will say the one positive thing to come from TikTok is this podcast. Come on now. TikTok did one good thing,
That's true.
Yeah, they allowed everybody to see my beautiful face and to hear my silky smooth voice.
that they did.
That they did.
So let's get back on track here. Forget TikTok. Whatever happens. That's how I'm just looking at it now. But January 6th, that's a fun one, right?
Oh,
you guys like January 6th?
I love hearing it. Every day I wake up and I'm like, January 6th, I hear it in my ear. I'm like, oh, what a ring that has.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite days. Definitely within the top 5 days of the year for me. Um, yeah. So, like we said, apparently, new MAGA McCarthy is going to release all January 6th footage, and there's apparently like I want to say it said like 10,000 hours of footage or something that has yet to been revealed. So, get ready to watch the new footage. We have to take a couple weeks off of work and watch it all.
Yeah.
Study. We got to study this stuff, you know.
The people at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Google, and China and TikTok have to spend a lot of time erasing those videos offline.
Yeah.
Like tough guys, tough weekend for them to be sitting there and actively censoring those videos from us.
Yeah, I get the point of releasing the footage because they want transparency, and it's a win for McCarthy because it looks like he's doing the right thing. At the same time, unless this is going to get the hundreds of people that are still locked up in DC out, what's the point? This is the same thing that's happening with the Twitter files because you release all this information. Guess what? The media and everyone ignores it. Nobody left even knows what you're talking about when you talk about the Twitter files because they just don't care. Unless you're involved in the political world, nobody cares. So unless you're in our spot or somewhere relevant, you're not going to care about the hours of footage from January 6th because your mind's been made up for years now. So I get why he's doing it. I just don't see the point behind it.
Honestly, I think that we are partially like responsible for spreading all of this around because we know what the media does and stuff like that. So January 6th footage, Twitter files, all that, that's up to us, to spread it to people that aren't politically involved.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's very hard when we talk about elections, when we talk about politics, we are thinking about on a millions of people's kind of scale. Like we are thinking on a country level scale, on a state level scale, thousands and thousands and hundreds of millions of people around the world in this country. And I think it's important to realize that a lot of this stuff starts with individuals to a certain degree. It's like it starts with that one kid who heard our podcast, somebody else's podcast, who heard a little more, and then he became a creator, and then he inspired somebody else, and then inspired somebody else, and it grows bigger and bigger than we think it does, even though that we aren't reaching a bigger audience because of censorship. And I think it's okay to start small and to realize that yes, this is not going to be on a big impact right now, but if we keep doing our job, if we keep pushing, if we keep changing one mind at a time, then over time we will see a change.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I sit in the mirror every night and think myself.
Yeah.
Do you write these down? Like,
no, he does. He definitely writes them down and studies them.
I promise you, this is top of my head. Like, in the moment, right? I don't do any homework for these podcasts. Like, I come in and just talk.
Okay, well, good for you then. I mean, these are some motivational, inspirational quotes. You really getting these down. I guarantee you, somebody listens are writing these down every week. There's going to be a nice book by the time this is all said and done. But Tal, on a serious note, I'm a man, so I'm not allowed to talk about this. Quan, you're a man, so you're not allowed to talk about this. Murder. Sorry. Tal, you want to talk about this? I saw a post the other day about this, so I'm sure you're ready to go.
Yeah. The Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act.
Yep.
I think the House vote was 220 to 210, I believe. And basically what it is it says that like healthcare providers are required to, if they don't comply with the requirements of care, they could, I think, be thrown in prison for up to 5 years. So basically it says that there's no penalties against like the mother or anything. So the whole my body, my choice thing kind of goes out the window. At this point, it's just evil people partaking in evil activities per usual. But it's not about the woman's body anymore. Now it's just you're denying any medical care to these children who are born alive after failed abortion attempts. So what's the deal?
Yeah, I think.
Whoa. You're a man. You can't talk.
Oh,
you
actually,
can't
today,
speak on this.
Actually, how dare you assume my gender? Actually, right now in the very moment, in the very minute right here, I just realized that I'm actually a woman. So as a woman of color, I have all the right here to talk.
What's your name now?
Kawana.
Okay, that's all I need to.
Kawana, that's good. That's really good.
Kawana, yeah, exactly. My name is Kawana here. So as a strong, independent Black woman, I just want to say.
Oh no.
I just want to say that it's very interesting how the government has convinced mostly colored folk that it is the best practice to kill our children. And I think it's a very sly way of population control. And I think it's very funny how that has gone beyond just the first couple of weeks or to like even up until birth to now after birth to now the baby is fully capable of living. Like nope, you still kill that thing.
Yeah, and a lot of Democrats right now, after this bill was imposed, are defending these people, saying that because it's already considered homicide in the US to kill an infant that's born alive, it doesn't even matter and it's pointless and whatever. And they're like not looking at it from the view of like over these past 3 years alone, we've seen that like the lack of morals that we hold as Americans. And I think that it's important to clarify that denying these
Mm-hmm.
babies medical access is just as much intentional murder. So
Exactly. And I think even nowadays, the fact that, first of all, this has happened before, right? Doctors have let a baby just sit there and die
yeah.
because the mother didn't want it anymore. I think it's very important, again, like you said, to clarify that, as well as politics isn't just for the extreme things. Politics is there to set a standard for living, even on the things that we think are the most basic. Because at times, as we've seen, is people have forgotten the most basic fundamental morals of this country. We still have litter laws. Again, we generally speaking, we all know we shouldn't litter, but there's still a law in the book and there's still fines in the book. So people are reminded, hey, listen, this is a good idea that we need to make sure we are maintaining. So even if you think, oh, it should be covered, oh yeah, it was, it's that's fine. Like we should know this already. You be surprised how quickly things can change in 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years. America today is way different than it was in the 90s, in the 70s, in the 50s. And so this idea like, oh, we need that. I'm like, no, yes, it's needed. It's very much so needed. We are on a dark, dark path. And this idea
Yeah.
of what we think life has become so twisted. The fact that people in this country don't even see other full-grown adults as people anymore. The fact that they don't see their lives as important anymore. That should speak to the fact that we need to be very, very, very clear. Painfully so. The law is a precise act, and we should be precise in everything we say.
Yeah, I think the worst part of politics mentally is spiritual warfare aspect of it, for sure, because even the thought of someone like being okay with letting a baby sit there and die just because it was a failed abortion attempt is just like heartbreaking. It really is. I don't know.
Yeah. Tal, great words. Kwana, great speech.
Lana.
Kwana, thank you.
But I'm a man and I'm going to speak on this now because this is our show and these liberals can cry some more. So let's be real here. These Democrats are demonic and I don't care. I mean, you can't have 210 people vote for this and then say that everything's perfectly fine. It's not. The fact that they're so willing to publicly state that they think that life should be killed just because we don't want a child is sickening. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's serious questions we had, like, what is this mindset behind this? And like I said, I believe that most of these Democrats are demonic. Is this some kind of sick ritual? I mean, is this your human sacrifice? Like, what's behind this bill? Like, why are you so eager to kill living children? And I might sound crazy, but guess what? I don't care. But this isn't something a normal, sane person would vote for. So we got to get behind the root cause. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I've heard no one defend it yet. I want to know where, like, what are they thinking, honestly? Because there's no penalty towards a mother, so it's not about her body anymore. The baby is born. Baby is born. It's out. The mother survived. The baby survived.
I think they don't want
camps. I think there are two camps. Okay, I think there's two camps. I think the first one is the leaders. These are the people who are perpetuating this new world religion. I think it's funny when people say, "Oh, we don't believe in God. We believe in all that kind of stuff. We just atheists, whatever." And it's funny because it's not true. It's funny that these people are actually worshiping something, but they don't know that they are. They are it's a science, it's this and that, and other. Like, no. They are worshiping themselves. Mm-hmm. And with every worship, there is some kind of sacrifice. Whether that's your time, whether that's your belonging, whether that is your soul, your heart. And these people, yeah, exactly, ahead of us. It's the babies. We see all the time. There are many different religions in the history of the world who use their babies as sacrifices. And right now, we're in the same kind of process where people are sacrificing their babies for what? For choice, for freedom. So they continue to worship themselves, so they continue to get what they want. We live in a time of self worship, of idolizing one's own being and thinking yourself as a god. Like you can literally change reality with your words. In some instances, people believe, and so in this whole astrology culture, people really believe that they have the godly power to make reality whatever they wanted that to be, and I think that the power from of that, like, the way to get that power is from killing your children.
Yeah. Um, I might be crazy here again. I was talking to someone about this the other night. And you know what you're programmed to believe since the day you're born in schools, they teach you united we stand, divided we fall, correct? You've
Mm-hmm.
heard that forever. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be united if we got to be united with people that want to kill children. You know, we're divided more now than ever, and we should never unite with evil. I mean, do we unite with terrorists? We shouldn't. Our government does, but we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't. We don't unite with murderers. We lock them up. We don't link arms and say we're best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's certain groups of people that you should not unite with. That being divided from is a good thing. And right now, being divided from the Democrats, if their stance
Mm-hmm.
is to kill children, that's a good place to be because that's
Yeah,
not someone you want to be united with. And there's
it's
too many
separated.
people being like, no, that we need to unite with Democrats. No, we don't need to unite with Democrats if that's the way they're going to act. Like I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be anywhere near them. We don't unite with people like that.
Exactly. Yeah, like even like going back to like some of the biblical stories, like with the following the Jews, coming out of Israel, um, God wanted them to be set apart and like not practicing any of the other pagan rituals or any other society's rules, because you know that if you start participating and then you start living with that, you will start to fall into those kinds of ideas. And honestly,
Mhm.
though, I'm of the belief that, like as God says, that He has written the law on our hearts, that in our inner being, we all know what's right and wrong. And it takes a lot of convincing and a lot of twisting and a lot of lies to make us to pretend like that doesn't exist, to go into a clinic and kill a baby and pretend like that didn't destroy your soul. And um and and so to some ways, and some level, I'm a little sympathetic. I feel sad for the people who've been tricked and lied to and are lying to themselves in a lot of ways. And I think, yes, we need to be separate from them. We need to make sure that we are not entertaining any of these kind of lies, any of these kind of demonic falsehoods. I think it's also very important to look past what these people are presenting to us and dig a little deeper and find that part of their heart that knows what's right and wrong. To remind the people of, hey, listen, I know that you've been told that the only way for you to have freedom is to kill your kids and to have thruples and to do all this queer, really weird sex rituals kind of stuff and to do all this kind of demonic stuff. But hey, there's something better. There's more. You are more than just your flesh right now. And I think it's very easy to look at somebody who's doing evil things and just go, oh, they're evil, moving on. But I think it's important, if we're gonna have any chance of rebuilding this country, we need to learn how to reach people who are in these little pits.
You really
Yeah.
should write a book. You really
Maybe.
should.
Might be competing with Kamala though, so good luck.
Hilarious, yeah. I could lose. She's just so well spoken.
Hey, if you go with Kawana, black woman versus black woman, you may be the better black woman here.
Yeah, put on a
True.
wig. Like, you know what? Me, Kawana, I challenge Kamala Harris, woman to woman, to a boxing match. Okay,
She
equal.
can't judge.
Well, yeah, man, we're equal. Two women in the ring. Let's do it.
You might need to work on that voice just a little bit.
My bad. Sorry. Anyways, me and Kamala in a fight to the death right now. Put a dukes up. Let's do it.
If
My
you don't
money's
make
on
this an
Kawana.
Instagram reel, I'm unfollowing the Instagram.
All right, we got this week,
Got this.
man. All right, I'm definitely like adding Kamala tonight, and we got to get this boxing match going.
Exactly. I'll do it. Listen. I'm following the rules. Let's do it. Give it a couple of love taps.
Love taps. That's
Gotta
what
make a
you're calling
little
them.
flyer. Can you
Yeah,
Photoshop a wig on him?
exactly.
We'll try.
Honestly, if I had to fight Kamala Harris, I don't think I would have to like. First of all, I'm a gentleman, so I would never like just absolutely destroy her. Okay, I
No,
wouldn't
you're
just do that.
Koana.
I think I would just kind of grab her by the shoulders and like slow her slowly, like lower her down, saying like shh, shh, and like slowly, gently, carefully, put it to the ground, and then just hold her there. Say, hey, you're done. It's over.
You're done.
You're done. It's all right. Take a nap. It's all right. It's okay. Miss VP, it's all good. I got you. Just let her down. And then get a rag, some water, and I'm kidding. Government, I'm kidding.
He's not kidding.
Government, I'm kidding.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, I'm an adult. I don't kid.
That was corny. That was really corny. But our podcast is now flagged.
It's now flagged, exactly.
Yeah.
You tell me it wasn't flagged before.
We were all individually on a watch list, but now the podcast as a whole is on there too.
It's on there too, yeah.
That's good. The more watch lists you're on, the better.
Yeah, no more harm. Viewers.
Yeah, honestly. Hey, tell the whole FBI to start listening to every episode to see what we say. Help us out on the charts. Yeah, you know what they say. If you're not on a watch list, you're doing something wrong. So the more we're on, we must be doing actually something right. So put us on those watch lists, FBI. We're here. We're just having fun. You suck at your job.
We're here. We're queer. No.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Whoa. And just like that, we're off the watch list. What did you do?
Yep.
Exactly. Everyone's playing checkers. I'm playing 5D chess.
You're always just a couple steps ahead.
But yeah, we gotta outmaneuver, overcome obstacles, plan ahead. Andrew Tate, Bugattis.
Top G,
exactly.
Yep, Koana's the top G.
Yep. Austin is the bottom G.
I guess. I'm not gonna argue, But I think it's time we wrap things up this week. I just got called the bottom G.
Yeah,
I think we're done here. But
done here.
We're gonna plan ahead. I think we're gonna have an episode next week. That sounds right? Planning ahead.
Yeah.
Also, FYI, everybody out there, just released body armor on warfieldarms.com. Check it out. Protect yourself.
Yes, go test it out. Go get a buddy, put it on, test it out. Leave some reviews if you're still there afterwards.
Leave some reviews if it worked, yeah.
If it didn't work, we'll know why there's no reviews.
Coming from the creator. Okay.
No.
All right, guys, let's just wrap this up. We'll see everyone next week.
See everybody next week.
Bye,
God
y'all.
bless. Love you all. Learn something about yourself, okay? Really, really dig deep.
Bye.